This video is talking about keyboard input, and this is real similar to what we did for the mouse input. And mouse input, we use a mouse listener. Now here we'll use a key listener in the constructor. After the timer and the other video talking about the mouse input talks about how they invent driven things with the timer listener and how we have to implement whatever type of listener we have. For us, with the key listener, we're going to do something real similar to the mouse. Instead of adding a mouse listener, we're going to add a key listener. And the key listener, we'll make a new class that we'll define in about a minute. So in the add mouse listener, we add a new mouse. Here I'm going to say create a new keyboard. Create a new keyboard object. Now the one catch here is the other part, since we're listening to the key listener and there's different ways to type in, and all day, every time we're on a computer now we have multiple windows open, we have to know which window is active that the keys are working for. So we also need to say set focusable, and we're going to set that to true. What that's going to say is my current window that is up and going, whichever window is active, that is true, and the keyboard will listen to that. So you can write this private interclass anywhere you want to. With the mouse example, in the mouse input example, if we look at this one, we added the new mouse listener, and then we wrote our private class. We implemented a interface, and then we auto-defined those methods. We're going to do exactly the same thing for my keyboard input, where I'm going to say private class keyboard, and that's going to implement. And instead of implementing a mouse listener that we did in mouse input, we're going to implement a key listener. And we'll write that class. I cannot spell implements. Here. Okay. Just as before with mouse input, we have two potential errors right now because we're implementing a class. We need to import that so we can use it. So we just import the key listener. You can hover over top of it. I know you can't see the window from the recording, but then you can click on import key listener. Comes from java.awt.event. We import those. That goes away, and then now keyboard is underlined just like mouse was underlined, where we need to add those unimplemented methods. When you hover over top of keyboard, you can click on the first link that typically says add unimplemented methods, and then this one is going to add 3, where mouse listener has 5. Key listener just has 3. Key press, key released, and key type. Key type is a full up and down action. Key press is the down action of touching key, and key released is the releasing or the up action of a key after it has pressed. And we want to move things around, so instead of using the mouse to move everything, we have our key event. Again, yours might say arg0. I just changed mine to E, and now every time it comes up, it'll always be action event E. Whatever we want here. So let's just say key press, so we can hold the thing down and keep things moving over and over again. Otherwise, you got to click, 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 click every time you move something on the screen, so that's not good. And what do I want to move? This is the same program with the jumping ball. So we have the ball that bounces around the screen and the jumping ball as the object whenever the ball collides. So you can see the two ball class and the jumper is what I have. And they're created, and then the timer class is where everything moves. So here in key press, what do I want to do and what do I want to happen? I want to move the jumping ball because the regular ball is bouncing and moving so fast. It's hard to control that with the keyboard to make directions. So let's move this jumping ball around to either avoid or intentionally collide with the ball. So we can just say mine's called jumper, so I can say jumping dots, or instead of everything, excuse me. We're going to say if. And we have to get the key code. So from my key event, we're going to say e.get key code. And that just tells the computer whatever button's pressed, that's going to return some sort of number or some sort of information back. So whatever that code is. And we just got to see what it is. So what button do I want to press? And what button, that button pressed, what do I want it to do? So if my key code, and I'm just going to use W and S to move up and down. We can use anything we want. If that equals, and it's a constant from the key event class. So we'll say key event dot, and we're going to say VK, which I believe stands for virtual key. You got to use an underscore, and then whatever letter it's going to be. So here, VK underscore W is saying if I press the W button, what do I want to do? And I want my jumper, because that's a ball that just sits there, and I'm going to set the X value, or set the, I want to move up and down. So I'm going to set the Y value to set Y, and then I'm going to get Y plus speed. So this is the exact same logic that our move method was in the ball class when we wrote move. We'll do the same thing here. So the jumper is get my Y coordinates, and then I'm going to move, W is going to move up, and then S is going to move down. So to move up, I'll just subtract, I don't know, 4 pixels, whatever you want it to be. There's that one. And that's how it goes. If you run this, and then now I'm running, when I press the W button, the ball, the jumper, will move up. And we can just write as many if statements as we want. So I can say E dot get key code, and I can get any code that's out there. And there in the key event class, when you look at the API, which has been provided for you, you can see that there's every virtual key right there. So there's a mapping for every key that you can think of that we have on the standard keyboard. So virtual key, I'll just say S for going down, and again to move down, we'll just say jumper dot set Y, jumper dot get Y. So get wherever I was, move it down 4, which is, as we know for graphics, moving down is a positive action because 0, 0 is in the top left corner. And when you run it, the jumping ball will go up and down as you run these things. You can have as many if statements as you want. You can have other things happening. There is virtual keys for the up and down arrow. That would be simply as saying if I want to change the W, I could just say VK underscore, and it's the word up, and that is for my up arrow. Down is for the down arrow. You can also do other things such as get key code. So I hit key event and then control space, it'll all correct for me as we do some of those. And then even like the space bar. So say I want to start the game, so if that equals my virtual key underscore space. So that represents the space bar, which might be a big one for you. And I can say timer dot stop or timer dot start, depending on what you have and what's going on with it. You can do something like this, and that will just start or stop your game, or pause it, or whatever else you want to here. So there's lots of different ways to control, and different things that move up and down. So as you press it and hold it, then it can work. So you can have different things happening for pressing and releasing, and even for typing, making the whole click action happen for whatever you need. Enjoy now playing around. So if you know the mouse input, and now you know keyboard input, and now you can start making games, controlling different objects, and making things collide with each other, and make a little interactive game out of it.